All right, welcome back, kings and queens, y'all. This is getting dirtier and messier by the minute. Maurene Comey released an email, a farewell email to her coworkers this morning, her compadres this morning. And listen, she is not taking her foot off the gas. She is matching energies around here, and she warned her colleagues about Donald Trump, called him a tyrant, and told them, listen, have no fear of being fired. You may be fired for doing your job. We're going to get into the email, but this has just gotten messy. And for those of you, if you haven't been made aware already, the Department of Justice has relaunched or opened an investigation against James Comey, who is Maurene's father. This is just messy, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all because that's what we do over here. Okay, we keep it we keep it real. This is starting to feel real personal. This is starting to feel real personal and very subjective as it relates to the firing of Maurene Comey and also an investigation to probe into her father. Now, some of you are in the comments and you're saying, Queen Sheba, wait a minute, good riddance. They took out the trash. They took out the trash, and that may be true. But other than subjective dialogue and all of that, what did they do? Because according to sources, it's unclear why Maureen has been released of her duties. And I'm sorry, Trump. That's not why we voted you in. That's not why the people of America voted you in, to come up in here and put your foot on the desk and get your leg back. Okay. So let's just get into it. And I just want to hear what y'all have to say. So this morning, listen, the Jeffrey Epstein prosecutor, Maurene Comey, who was abruptly fired by the Justice Department under the orders of President Donald Trump. Well, she was abruptly fired, okay, under the alleged orders of Donald Trump. And it's very suspicious to some people because some people says, this sure is peculiar, because right now Donald Trump, he's under pressure to release those files on Epstein. Okay. So Maureen in her email basically said to her colleagues, I am being targeted by a tyrant. Listen, girl, I like your energy. I like your energy. I like the fact that she didn't crumble under pressure. I like the fight, the fact that she has a spine, right, wrong, or indifferent. Now, listen, this isn't about if y'all like her or not. I like when people stand on business. And as a matter of fact, let me back up a little bit and mind my manners before I get into the thick of it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Maureen had a lot to say this morning. And I'm okay with her pushing back. I'm okay with her getting it off her chest. You know, in corporate America, they give you what they call an exit interview. And although she did not receive an exit interview, she did not go quietly. So, federal prosecutor, and this is according to MSNBC, Maurene Comey sent an email Thursday morning to her former colleagues at the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, warning them, I told you she warned them, that it's becoming harder for them to do their jobs without fear. What does that mean to you all? What does it mean it's becoming harder for us to do our jobs without fear? Is there an implied threat? Is there pressure from different areas? And if so, who? What are they pressuring you about? Were you pressured? Were you pressured? I don't know. Let's get into it. Because I'm thinking about that Diddy case. Did you fight as hard as you needed to? Were there roadblocks? Was there interference? So anywho, in the email, Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, a frequent target, y'all, of President Donald Trump. Maureen said that the Trump Justice Department fired her with no explanation a day earlier. Keep in mind, Maureen comes with a very, very extensive portfolio. She's prosecuted some of the city's highest profile cases, y'all, including the one involving Jeffrey Epstein and his associate, call it his girlfriend. Okay, and his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. And as of recent, Sean Diddy Combs, okay? Now, In her email, she says if a career prosecutor can be fired without reason, fear may seep into the decisions of those who remain. She wrote, "Do not let that happen. Fear is the tool of a tyrant, wielded to suppress independent thought." You know what? You know what? So are you saying, Maureen, are you hinting at the fact that it's Donald's way or no way? And for those who refuse to do what he says, you could lose your livelihood. The email was first reported by Politico, and here's the email. Maureen wrote, "Yesterday was unexpectedly my last day in the office. I was fired via memo from Maine Justice that did not give a reason for my termination. Every person lucky enough to work in this office constantly hears four words to describe our ethos: without fear or favor. Do the right thing, the right way, for the right reasons, without fear or retribution, and without favor to the powerful. For the majority of my nearly 10 years in SDNY, fear was never really conceivable. We don't fear bad press. We have the luxury of exceptional security keeping us physically safe. And so long as we did our work with integrity, we would get to keep servicing the public in this office. Our focus was really on acting without favor. That is, making sure people with access, money, and power were not treated differently than anyone else, and making sure this office remained separate from politics and focused only on the facts and the law. But we have entered a new phase where, without fear, may be the challenge. If a career prosecutor can be fired without reason, fear may seep into the decisions of those who remain. Do not let that happen. Fear is the tool of a tyrant, wielded to suppress independent thought. Instead of fear, let this moment fuel the fire that always burns at the heart of this place: a fire of righteousness, indignation at abuses of power, of a commitment to seek justice for victims, of dedication to truth above all else. It has been an honor to fight for those principles by your side, Maureen." Woo! Maureen, I have to give you a round of applause. You did a hell of a job. Both sides did a hell of a job on the Diddy trial. I had the luxury of sitting in the courtroom. I marveled at the brilliance of both the defense and the prosecution. You did your thing, and you're going to be fine. Y'all, we have bigger fish to fry. We have bigger fish to fry because the Department of Justice has launched an investigation into James Comey, who is the ex and former director of the FBI, Maurene Comey's father. Okay. Now, there's a different listen. A lot of you have your own thoughts about why Donald doesn't like James and why James have become a target for Donald Trump. Now, during a meeting in the Oval Office many years ago with Russian foreign minister and the Russian ambassador. This was the previous Trump administration. Trump told the Russian officials, "I just fired the head of the FBI. He was crazy. He was a real nut job." And he also added, "I face great pressure because of Russia. That's taken off." And he further added, "I'm not under investigation." Okay. Now, these comments were recorded in the official White House notes made during the meeting, y'all. So I'm not making this up. This was on during a May 10th meeting during when he served his first administration. The following day, Trump did an interview, okay, with NBC News with Lester Holt. And he told Lester Holt in that interview, "When I decided to fire Comey, I said to myself, I said, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia, it's a made up story." And he reiterated his belief that there was no proof that Russia was behind any election interference. And some people are saying that they believe that James Comey was fired because he refused to stop probing into the Russian election. Um, some of you call it a conspiracy theory that Russia interfered with the election. And other insiders have claimed that Trump was mad. He was furious. He had a gripe with Comey because Comey refused to back up Trump's wiretap accusations against former President Barack Obama. And Trump was also pissed off that James Comey, did not defend him from accusations of collusion with the Russian government. Now, according to James Comey, because there's Trump's side, there's Comey's side, and then there's the truth. Now, my thing is this: some of y'all say, "Well, the Comeys are dirty." Is Trump dirty, or is it just the Comeys? I'm just asking, because according to Comey, allegedly, let me say allegedly, it's being alleged that Trump had asked Comey to pledge his loyalty to him, and Comey refused to make this pledge, saying that he would give him honesty. And what Trump called honesty, loyalty, I don't know. Trump denied that he asked Comey for his loyalty, but Trump did say, even if I did ask him for his loyalty, such a discussion would not necessarily have been inappropriate. June 7, 2017, House Speaker Paul Ryan stated that it's not okay. It's very inappropriate for the president to ask an FBI director for loyalty. What are your thoughts? Is this really about retaliation? Is this about James Comey refusing to let off the gas as it relates to the Russian interference, allegedly, with the election? And according to sources, y'all, Comey's unwillingness to offer personal loyalty to Trump was one of the reasons that Trump retaliated and fired him. And now, if we fast forward 17, 18, damn near 8 years later, he fired his daughter. I don't know. I got a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion. Listen, where there's smoke, there's typically a fire. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The next day, several FBI insiders says Comey was fired because he refused to end the Russian investigation. And prior to the firing, senior White House officials made inquiries to intelligence officials, such as, can we ask Comey to shut down the investigation? Are you able to assist us in this manner? After his dismissal, Comey recounted that Trump had told him the following March in 2017 that, this is according to Comey now, I'm not making this up, and I'm going to put quote unquote. Comey is saying that Trump told him, if there were, for instance, some satellite associates of his who did something wrong, it would be good to find that out, but that he hadn't done any wrong, and hope that Comey would find a way to get it out there that Trump was innocent. Y'all, this is messy. This is above my pay grade. This sounds like rich people problems, white collar problems. But guess what? We're going to be all up in your business, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. And I have a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion, as I said before, this is just the beginning, period, point blank. And before we end, I do want to say, yes, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, has launched an investigation into former FBI James Comey. Reports from early July, y'all, right now, right here today, about a week ago, indicated that the FBI initiated criminal probes into both Comey and former CIA Director John Brennan for potential misconduct related to the investigations into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. I told y'all. But this is not new information. I'm just refreshing your memory. Specifically, the investigation is reportedly looking into potential wrongdoing related to their involvement in those inquiries. Okay? So wait a minute. So they were doing their job as a CIA director and an FBI director and they were inquiring, and it sounds like somebody had a problem with those inquiries, possibly including making. So now they're saying there's a possibility, this is all alleged, right, that Comey and Brennan may have made false statements to Congress. Now, with the full scope of the investigation into Comey, or while is y'all, there's not a lot of information as to why. Just like there's not a lot of information as to why Maurene has been fired or was removed from her office. It's being alleged that the investigation appears to be linked to actions and events that took place during the Trump administration long time ago and thereafter, according to the reports from July 2025. Donald, listen to me, because I'm tired of it, okay? Like they say in Texas, I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I need you to be a president and not a schoolboy. I need you to sit your ass down in that White House and focus on the goodwill and the well-being of the United States of America. And I don't need you to utilize the White House and your presidential powers as if you're fighting a fight on the schoolyard. That's it. That's all.